Oh, hello, you beautiful souls. Happy Merry Christmas Eve, as I always like to say. And for those of you that don't celebrate, it's okay. Happy Saturday. We are here for a quick little reading. I got the nudge to do a card from every single one of my decks. So it's going to be a little story that we get from all the different decks that I have. So I'm super excited. I don't think I've ever done this before. So it's something new. And if you haven't already, I posted on my shorts yesterday that I am doing a full year animal spread. So you get an animal for every single month of 2023, and each animal is so spot on and so amazing. For instance, one time I got the frog card. I think I shared this in another video, and it was like, take a vacation, you need to rest. But it was in the middle of May of 2020, and I'm like, can't really take off from teaching back then. And then one of my friends offered me her beach house. And I was like, oh my gosh, the frog was telling me what was coming. So the animals are spot on. And they're also like wonderful guidance and support when we're going through something hard. So say you get something like the fire ant talks about like stewing over a situation. And if you have that card come up for a certain month and there's a situation in your family that you've been frustrated with, it's a reminder to let it go. And your guides and angels are sending you that animal to give you advice on how to handle those situations. So they're not just a little game we're playing. These animals are our guides and angels speaking to us, giving us the courage and the guidance and the love that we need to traverse through our lives, especially during these crazy times. So if you want your own spread, email me. Everything's down in the description box below. It's just $20.23. I always make it the amount of whatever year it is. And you can Venmo me, PayPal me. I also have Cash App. So if you use that, you can always email me for my contact with that. But yeah, we use this deck. Oh, no shit. You guys, there's the fire ant. Oh, I love you guys so much. Okay, let's get started with the reading. But I had to promote that because this is my fourth year doing it, and my clients they're all, when they see me post about it on Instagram, they're like, oh my gosh, I thought I missed it. And I'm like, no, I'm like, even if it's February and you didn't purchase it now or in January, you can email me any time of year and I will pull cards for you, because I know how much they helped me and helped me through my loss and through everything I went through. So, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I just mentioned my loss. I lost my daughter about 10 years ago from a muscle disorder. She was only 6 weeks old, and she broke me open to my gift of being able to tap into spirit and talk to my guides and angels and bring you guys the messages from the universe that you need to hear. And I made 2 decks in memory of her. This is called Micah Magic. Her name was Micah Dillon Turner. And then this is the other deck I made, the Ever Unfolding Heart and Hearts, because she sends me hearts wherever I go. So Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, Micah, my dad, please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so maybe I have a couple decks. I have a tray because there's so many decks that don't all fit on my table. So maybe I'll start with the decks on my tray and then I'll work my way up. So this is like it's a tarot deck, but it's all about it's like a cute cartoon type of tarot. So it's like symbolizes all the cartoons like Aladdin, Little Mermaid, all that stuff. I forget the name of it. Spirit, can you please give us, we got 2. And we are going to do jumpers for most of the deck. So there could be more than one card. Oh, we have the Devil and the Emperor. All right, so the Devil, it shows a snake, which is a fiery snake. So it could be rebirth. So the Emperor, I'm hearing, is going through this complete rebirth, a purge energy. He's like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I'm becoming. And with a snake, we always know that that's like a shedding. You're shedding a layer. You're letting go of like this older version of who you are. And the Emperor is the divine masculine. So either this is somebody in your life, your other whole, as I like to say, not your other half, because we are whole on our own, but your counterpart might be going through a rebirth. They might be feeling like this purge, and they're shedding their skin. And it could also mean all of us are shedding a new layer of our masculine energy. Something new is coming out of us. We're being called to step forth into our masculine energy. I know I'm going through something that I just can't put my finger on. I really feel like I don't know who I am. And a lot of times we identify with who we are with what we do. So as I sat down to do this reading, I was like, why am I doing this? I know I want to provide messages, but what lights me up? What do I really want to do? And I'm learning that I am shedding the voices in my head of who I want to please. So as I create content in the past, I would always think of somebody who might need it, right? Or I'm always thinking of a partner who I want to see me doing my thing. Or I don't know, it's like this, it's the little girl in me that wants to be seen. And that's like no longer there. Like I've shed that. And now I feel lost. Like, wait, what's my motivation now? And of course, my motivation is always you guys and bringing you the messages that you need to hear. But somehow my conditioning is still looking for that validation and like, oh, I got to do this so and so will see it. And when that's gone, it's like you lose motivation. And it's almost like you have to rebuild this new fire inside of you to be who you are without anybody else's eyes on you. And that's what I'm battling with myself is like, I think about all the different things I've done in my life, being a teacher, should I go back to that? Am I a reader or am I a motivational speaker? Like, what am I? I don't know right now. All I know is I wanted to stop all one-on-one sessions. I wanted to stop Reiki. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? So if you're going through that right now, it's okay. I'm going to assume it's okay for me because I know that every time I go through these deaths and rebirths, and the devil energy is addictions. So it could also be the divine masculine is letting go of addictions. That's another meaning for that card too. So, or old habits, or you feel like you're just needing to change your entire life, which is me as well. Okay. My next deck, I believe this is my Archangel deck. Yep, we have all the archangels in here. Super cute. All right. Of course we get this one, and I have no idea how to pronounce it. Lord, I don't even know. Okay, accept and send healing. You are a being of the universe. So you guys can see why I can't pronounce that. Maybe some of you can and spell it in the comments on how you would pronounce that. But we're sending healing. So it's funny how I just said I wanted to stop Reiki, and look what he's doing with his hands. He's sending healing energy. Accept and send healing. You are a being of the universe. So I also feel like I'm looking at his necklace, and there's this little red ball on his necklace. And I just feel like that's the red, like red energy is like passion. That's also root chakra. So if anybody is going through this, when you feel like your life is crumbling and you're going through this complete, like, I don't know who I am. What am I supposed to be doing? This isn't working. Do I need to pivot? Send healing. Send healing to yourself. Maybe sit down and give yourself some Reiki. Rest during this time. I went out to dinner with one of my favorite people last night, and it was actually like a 3-hour dinner / lunch. And I said to her, and I just was like, do I look sick to you? And she was like, you just look a little tired. And then I really like reflected back, and I really don't feel well. Like I don't feel like my normal, vibrant, young looking self. I feel old. I feel tired. And then I was looking at this entire year since, a year from now, this time last year. And this year was a lot for me. And I feel like I'm being guided to tell you all, like, I know 2020 was a lot, and 2021 was a lot. And then 2022 was kind of like everybody kind of like things normalized a little bit, but there was still a lot of upheaval and grieving. And for me, it was a leap of faith. I quit my job. I started YouTube. I started Reiki. I filmed a character curriculum for a company. So like I was now in this new life, and also grieving the loss of my dad and feeling that root chakra. Remember the red I talked about in his necklace? The root chakra is your financial stability. So this entire year I have been financially unstable. And like figuratively, without my dad here, that's another feeling of just being like, who's my protector? Who's going to protect me if something goes wrong, you know? And I have a mom, but it's not always like a safe space with her. So I've just been like feeling untethered this whole year, not really realizing it. I was just grinding. I wrote an ebook. I made 2 decks of cards. Like if you look, I'm going to do a cute little reel of my 2022 and all the things I'm really proud of that I did and a lot of things that failed. But I just kept going and I kept trying. But I did so much this year. And I did a lot of work and barely any play. And that's why I think I look tired. And if you guys saw me in person, I know Zoom probably makes me look a little bit like my lines, it smooths out our lines a little bit. But I just look tired. I don't look as like plump and juicy. I don't know. It's just a feeling. So I feel like maybe this message is for somebody out there that like maybe January will be a month of rest for us. Maybe we will finally be able to just like the holidays are over. Let's just cocoon ourselves. If you think about winter, winter is a time of cocooning and going into our cave and sleeping more and eating more. And I know I'm going to use this winter to completely nourish myself. I was on Instagram this morning and I saw this awesome like yoga studio, and it's really dark and it's a hot yoga studio, and they have this huge screen and they do fitness classes and they do meditation. And I'm like, I saw it and I'm like, it's 40 minutes from my house. I'm like, I'm going there. I was like, I'm going to work there or I'm going to do something there. I felt called to it. And I just feel this urge to switch up my routine. So if you're stumbling across a video, if you're stumbling across something in your energetic field and you feel a call to it, please take action on that. I had a little bit of fear going, oh, Michelle, you don't know anything about yoga. You know, I did yoga early on in my spiritual awakening, but I was never really drawn to it. But I don't care. I'm willing to just try anything right now to nourish myself. So this is a sign for all of you, nourish yourselves. Okay, and now we have the Abundance deck by Tosha Silver. Beautiful messages about abundance regarding like love, joy, happiness, money, peace. It's just being an abundant life in general. Well, hello. There's too many, so we're going to shuffle some more. Let me know what you guys are all doing for Christmas Eve if you celebrate. I know ever since my daughter passed away, my nieces and nephews kind of kept me alive during that time. And I spent a lot of time with my one sister's 4 kids. And we made it a tradition that every Christmas Eve, because I was a little bit lonely and grieving during my loss, I would sleep at her house. And I would sleep in the room with all 4 kids. We would all snuggle in one room. And I used to like bang on the bunk beds and be like, the reindeer are on the roof. And back then they believed, and even now they're like in high school and in middle school and they're like, Shushi, are you going to come sleep over? I'm like, yeah. So they go to their in-laws, my sister's ex-husband, his parents or sister, she's hosting. So they're going to be there till like maybe 9 o'clock. So I'm going to go sneak into their house and I'm going to do a scavenger hunt for all of them. And that's what I'm going to give them their gifts. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I have the whole day free. No cards are coming out, by the way. I guess I was meant to keep talking. Oh, we have ease. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. Open up your arms. You've done all the work. Sit back and receive. And I just heard receive with ease. It doesn't have to be difficult. You can receive your joy, your manifestations, your abundance instantly. If you're not receiving something that you desire, it's because you have a belief system blocking you and you have to tap into that. Okay, now we have the Angels of Abundance deck. Thank you, Spirit. I already did this morning. It says, hence my sports bra. It's literally 8 degrees here. It is so cold. I already did my workout this morning, and hence why I'm in my Adidas. But it says exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. So when you're looking to receive, believe it or not, exercise is the key to receiving. doing some sort of yoga, doing some sort of hot yoga or an ice bath or a workout. It's shifting the energy inside of you and you're becoming more open and more clear and you're just moving the energy. Yes, we have belief systems that call in manifestations if we have healthy belief systems, but it's also a lot to do with our energy. And when we feel good and when we work out and we do certain things that put us in a good energy state, that cleans up our magnet. I always think about the little red magnet, like the emoji. If you can imagine the emoji right now in front of you, and there's all this gunky metal stuck to it. As soon as you work out, as soon as you do a sauna, yoga, a meditation, a walk, you're in nature, you're decluttering all the metal off of your magnet. And then when you move your body and do those things and put yourself in a feel good state, your magnet is clear now. And now you're holding onto that magnet and everything can just easily come to you. But if your magnet is filled with all this gunky, heavy metal, literally could be heavy metals in your food, you can't receive. Your channel is not open. So you have to move your bodies. It says the key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels. And the easy way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. That's the key, is the aftermath, the feeling that you have after you do something, after you accomplish something. If you're going through your life, and I went through this too during my spiritual awakening, my ego kind of fell aside and I didn't feel a need to do it anymore, to work hard, to get up at 3 a.m. for my morning workouts. Like I was a machine. I was so driven. And it was because I loved a challenge. I loved doing hard things and the feeling you get afterwards. And I liked being able to say that I was doing those things to my students. I'd be like, yeah, I woke up this morning. Like I was such a show off. And that part of my ego kind of fell aside. And I was like, I don't really need to be doing that to prove anything. I like who I am and that my students are going to like me no matter what. But what do I want to do with my body and with my time? How do I want to feel good? So I went through this death, this ego death, where then I got really lazy. And then I was like, well, I can just walk each day. That's enough. But then my body just wasn't feeling as good. So then my ego, my healthy ego came back and I was like, okay, let's do as many push-ups as we can. And when we want to quit, let's do 5 more. And that was this thing between me and myself. And it was just proving to myself that I can do hard things and nobody was watching, right? And there was nobody I was telling I was doing it either. And then when I got to that phase, that's when I started to really post on Instagram more and more to say, just to motivate people just to put your sneakers on and go. Just put yourself in the environment to start moving. And then you start to manifest more and your life starts to change. And that's what I noticed. Days when I wake up and I was so depressed and sad about my loss or whatever was going on in my life, I would say, Michelle, don't think about it. Just put your shoes on and get to the gym. Within the hour, I felt amazing. But if I didn't go to the gym, my day could have been 24 hours of misery. But just making that one small decision to not think about it and just go, that changed my life. So I feel like that's a message for somebody out there. Okay, we just did those 4 decks. Now we're going to move on to all the decks on my table. All right, what animal do we need to hear about? The vulture. Okay, so the vulture comes in and cleans up messes. So it's almost like spirits, if you have icky stuff going on in your life or you have a situation at work with your job and you're just somebody's saying something or you got in trouble in some way, the vulture is going to clean it up. The universe has your back. It's going to take control and it's going to clean up that mess that has been created. But your job is to see the lesson in it and to see why it happened. Why did the universe make you experience this thing? And then you clean up your internal mess. And this also could be cleaning up that magnet because that magnet can be really, really messy. It could be messy with alcohol, it could be messy with laziness, it could be messy with procrastination, not being kind to people, judgment, comparison. Say you're looking at somebody on social media and you're seeing them produce so much content and they're doing so well and you're just it triggers you. That's a clunky magnet. You should, number one, hide that person on your Instagram if they're triggering you and then say, why is this triggering me? What am I not doing in my life that I'm jealous of that they're doing? Why am I hating on them? There's some fear inside of me that I'm scared that I'll never be as good as that. And that's not true. that triggering is showing you what you need to work on. It's showing you that shadow side of you. And the vulture is saying it's time to clean it up. Okay, the Gateway Oracle deck. Wow. Renewing your life. Same as the vulture. Clearing the clutter. Purge anything in your home that no longer serves you. Purge people in your life that no longer serve you. Just start to pull away. It says radiant vitality is filling my life. And that would be your new mantra. Radiant vitality is filling my life. And that's like kind of like the word that I was thinking of when I said I don't feel good and I don't look good. I don't feel that vitality. I don't feel that like zest. I just feel so, honestly, to be honest, the last 2 weeks, I literally was at the end of my rope. And I'm like, what's the point of life? I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Literally was about to have a mental breakdown. So if any of you were feeling that way too, I'm sure it's just a passing energy, but man, it was strong. And it was the strongest I felt probably in like 2 years of just feeling like there's no point. What am I supposed to be doing? And usually I know that that happens right before a huge breakthrough. So I know that. So I'm sending that message to all of you. When you're ever experiencing that in the future, you literally feel like your life is ending and you don't know what to do. You're hating on yourself because you feel lost. Like, who are you? What are you supposed to be doing? I hate my job, or I just left my job. What did I do? You're perfect where you are. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And you're launching your new journey. So this says launching your journey, bags are packed. I am an intrepid traveler sailing forth into the universe. So sometimes before we can pack our bags, literally, what are the odds of us getting these two cards together? Packing, removing the clutter, moving, cleaning up messes. It's almost like your old life is falling away, which is kind of like that divine masculine energy, the emperor. He's going through the devil energy. He's getting rid of all of his old habits, all these things that don't serve him, environments, everything. And in order to receive that new journey with ease, we have to move our bodies. We have to stay grounded. Okay, next card is from the Work Your Light deck. Thank you all for staying this long to watch the reading. If you're still here with me, I appreciate you. Okay, get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. Again, with the exercise. And this could even be just going out and taking a walk or sitting in nature and meditating. And I'm struggling right now because it's 8 degrees outside. Like, I don't want to go for a walk in 8 degrees. And I love my nature walks. Literally, fall, spring, and summer, my ass is outside at least for an hour walking every day. And then when winter hits, I feel so like bleh. So I need nature. That's why I feel called to move to a warmer climate, but I don't know where, and I don't know what that would be like. I've never left New Jersey, but I've always felt the urge to leave. But I don't know about you all, but maybe this is like, maybe you're being called to move to maybe an area where there's more nature. And maybe you're in a city setting and you're like, I need to get out of here, or I need to physically just take my body to nature more often. And I honestly think that had a lot to do with how I felt the past 2 weeks, because it's been cold here and it got cold fast. And it makes me not want to live here. I keep saying I need to take a vacation, but I feel like my finances are not in a good space to do it, but I'm trying to like manifest it. And of course, we get the ocean and a dolphin. So if any of you guys have an idea of where I should vacation, send it to me, because I need some warm weather. Okay, and ask the universe to bring me the funds. A beautiful new emotional experience, a romantic relationship or deep friendship, awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual insights, a love letter, a new home. Oh my gosh. It's the Ace of Cups. Well, here we are. And I had some sweet friends offer me their beach house for the winter. And lately I've been feeling more and more called to go there and to ask them again and be like, hey, does that offer still stand? Can I come there from maybe January to May or whenever? Third chakra, I think that's a sign I'm supposed to ask them. I just feel like my environment here is no longer healthy for me. And of course, it's water with a dolphin. A dolphin means a blessing's on the way. So maybe that's my sign that I should ask my friend. I hate asking for help, but maybe I should do that. So that's a message for all of you too. And I love sharing my experiences. Believe it or not, I don't love when these things are happening to me, but I think it's a great indicator of how you guys can see through my experience how the universe is working through you in your experience. Okay, we have Pray. This was from my Doreen Virtue Angel deck. So every card has angels on it. Oh, this one has a tiger in it. Show appreciation and pray. So your angels are saying, where are you not appreciating all that you have already? And if you're looking for new things, drop to your knees and pray and ask for it and manifest it. And know that this tiger is going to protect you on your journey. It's almost like the tiger is leading her. If you can see, her dress is kind of swooped up, following the tiger. So it's almost like show appreciation for how you're being led. Like, we're getting these messages right now saying somebody should move. Somebody should clear the clutter. Maybe you're moving into a new version of who you are, and follow that guidance. You can trust it. Go with the flow, I'm hearing. Don't be so rigid and think that you're going to be unhappy where you're going. You won't know unless you try. Okay, Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back deck. This one I'm going to cut because I never really get jumpers because the cards are really thick. Okay, obstacles are detours in the right direction. So if you feel like you've been going through some sort of obstacle in your life and life just seems difficult, it's showing you which way to go. So it's almost like you're walking down a path and all of a sudden there's all these like icky things that start happening, and it's like, turn around and go back, find another road. That's what the universe is saying. So it's like taking the path of least resistance. When things seem difficult, you're being called to stop and look at it and say, how can this be easier? How can I follow the path that makes me feel good? Okay, this is the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck. All of these decks can be found on Amazon. The Wolf, Heart Medicine. Let go of that which does not serve your highest good. Again and again and again, letting go, clearing the clutter, purging. We get it, Spirit. We get the message already. Maybe it's like someone's been trying to tell you to let go of something and you haven't been doing it. This was the Light Seers Tarot deck by Chris Ann. Here's the front of it. And then we have Judgment, number 20. So you are going to get that relief. It's like somebody out there is finally going to get this, like, it's almost like the justice. I keep hearing the justice card where it's like you're getting justice for what you've been through. But it's almost like she's surrendering and she's been through so much. And she's like, all right, I'm done trying to force it. I'm done trying to do it myself. I'm going to surrender and release my soul up to Spirit and say, you take control. You take the wheel. You show me what path to go down. I feel guided to quickly look at the Judgment card real fast for some reason. They're saying there's a message. I'm going to pick a random sentence. It says, why then do you keep your true nature hidden away from the world? There is no way to really understand your full potential until you are open and honest with your own heart without judgment. To expand and evolve requires this colossal forgiveness of the self. Forgive your beautiful soul, accept your beautiful heart. As you do, you consciously answer the call of your higher self, and the vastness of your horizon will make itself available to you. All right, so somebody is being called to really be authentic. And remember, I was talking about in the beginning of this reading that I feel like, who am I without this urge to please people or to do things for the validation? It's like that piece of me is gone. So then I lose that motivation. It's almost like, but that's my true self, is I don't need to please anybody. You don't need to please anybody. Where are you trying to do things for others all day long? Take that away, then what's left? It's just you. It's the present moment. And how can we love the present moment and allow the universe to move through us? So when I was explaining earlier, when I'm thinking, overthinking and depressed, and just put your sneakers on, Michelle, and just go to the gym, that's the present moment. What can I do right now to love myself and to love my depression, or whatever it is? There's depression here. I am not depressed. It's just present right now. How can I love it right now in this moment? And maybe how I can love myself. I'm going to put my sneakers on and go move through it. Or maybe I'm going to sit on the couch and cry in it for a little bit. But loving the present moment, no matter what state you're in, is the key to life. Because if you can find love and forgiveness in every single moment and compassion for others, your vibration, that magnet, is so clear, because you're not holding on to anything. You're not trying to figure anything out. You're allowing that magnet to be free and to call in more good. What a beautiful message. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, now we have Tosha Silver's Wild Offering. I almost forgot the name of it. Wild Offering deck. I call it my prayer deck. Solitude. Once you embrace the inner divine in your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. I was at a fire or a burn ceremony for the new moon and the solstice the other night, burning all of my journals. And there was a sweet man there. It was my friend Elisa's cousin's husband. And we were talking about, all of my journals are filled with me always wishing for a partner. You guys, I'm talking like 10 years of me yearning for a partner. No lie, 10 years that I've been like single, and knowing that I'm meant to be single this whole time to discover all these different layers of who I am. And I've dated people along the way. There's probably maybe been like one guy per year who I had my eyes on, and we were interacting and talking, but it was never like a full committed relationship. And I spent a lot of time, a lot of time in solitude, really figuring out, what do I want? And what don't I want? And I narrowed down my list a ton. And it's funny, it says the right people arrive at the right time. And the guy at the burn ceremony, he's like, Michelle, he's like, you're incredible. He's like, the right one's going to arrive at the perfect time. You don't need to wish for it. It's just going to happen. And he's like, doesn't matter how old you are. He's like, your path is unique. Clearly, you're not like the rest, and it's going to be okay. And I had to really you guys wouldn't believe how many people over the last 10 years have been like, Michelle, why are you single? You're so great. Or you're going to find somebody. Don't worry. And as each year goes by, I'm just like, all right, God, am I really supposed to just navigate life alone and not have somebody like grabbing my face and wanting to kiss me, or having somebody just to, do things with and share life with? And I found replacements for that. I found friends. I found my nieces and my nephews to do those things. I found that love is all around us, and it does not come from one partner. But a little piece of me is like, it would be really nice to know that somebody out there in the world wants to protect me. And I'm saying all of this because it's an energy that's out there. There's a lot of people that feel lonely, and they are in partnerships and they feel lonely. And you might be single waiting for your person. And sometimes we have to pause and say, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. There's so much love that we can receive. And I find the most joy in talking to somebody. I just got a $100 Starbucks gift card last night when I went out to dinner with my friend. I'm so pumped. I was like, you just know me so well. My favorite thing to do is in the morning, I go to Starbucks every once in a while. I freaking love interacting with the workers at Starbucks. They all know me by name. I show up and we talk about the coolest things. I ask them all these deep questions in a matter of like 2 minutes. And it is my greatest joy. And some days I leave the building and I'm just like, that's better than sex. That's better than food. The human connection that I've learned to cultivate myself through my solitude has been one of my greatest joys. Where the old Michelle was so focused on having a partner and having the picket fence and doing all that stuff, but there's so much more to life than a partner. But now I'm at the stage where I've expanded my capacity to love so much that now I want to like come home and tell somebody about what I just did at Starbucks or what somebody just did for me at the store. And it's the best feeling in the world to share the joy with somebody. And that's where I'm at now. And I know that it's going to come for me and it's going to come for you too. So embrace your solitude. There's so much to learn in our solitude. I can't even tell you how much I learned over the last 10 years. It's been a really lonely ride. And that's what my journals were filled with, was me just enduring life alone. And my journal was my partner. And I finally let go. So it's almost like I broke up with my partner this week and I'm making space for a new one to come in. Okay, now we have the hidden truth oracle, which we're going to have to take those two. Oh, we have, I left you before you could leave me. This is for somebody in separation. And I bury myself in work to forget you. So somebody was so scared of the relationship and of the connection. Like usually when people start off in these strong connections, they're like, so it's almost like a starstruck feeling. It's like, oh my God, you exist. I didn't know I always wanted somebody like you, but I didn't know you existed. And a lot of times people are in marriages and then they find their person and then they have to go through these hoops, or maybe it's their person's best friend, or their person is their best friend's ex, or maybe they work together, or maybe they live across the country or live in other countries. There's all these barriers that happen. And for my sister, she has such an amazing story. She met her soulmate or twin flame. They were coaching together and she was married, 4 kids. That's where I'm going to sleep tonight. And she couldn't help it. They were best friends. They were coaching together and they kind of fell in love. And she ended up having to get divorced and choose herself to go be with him. But God brought them together to coach together first, to acclimate, to kind of merge their energies, to feel what it feels like to be around unconditional love. And a lot of times twins and soulmates are brought together in work settings to learn about each other, to see how they work together. So I know so many teachers that have married each other and they met at their teaching jobs or in their corporate settings. So when I get these 2 cards, I'm thinking of somebody who's been in that setting and they're like, oh my gosh, like this person's local. They're right in front of me. They scare the shit out of me. I didn't know how amazing they were. And then they run because it's too much. They have to make too many changes. They don't want to get divorced because it's going to cause too much stress for their children or their in-laws or their spouse, but they have to choose themselves. And that's the mission. And we're moving into different times in the next few years. The world is going to be changing and God wants all people to be in unconditional loving relationships. So they're not going to have a choice, everybody. We're all going to be forced and squeezed to take those leaps of faith. And they're right now maybe burying themselves in work unconsciously. They don't even know that they're doing it. But at the same time, they're hearing the call, like something's not right. Something doesn't feel good. My body isn't right. I don't feel well. And that's why I think I don't feel well. I'm like, where's my person? I feel like when I meet my person, I'm going to be like infused with this like life force energy. And I thought I had met him, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know who it is. But I just feel depleted and I feel like I can't go on another day. So if you're like that too, your person's coming and we don't need to rely on somebody else to make us feel that way. But sometimes I feel like there are a match for us out there and it is an energy. It's a juice that we can like feel and it's love. It's finding your soul, your other whole of your soul. And I know a lot of people can feel that way in partnerships. And that's why I'm always like, are you in the right one? Because maybe your body's telling you that you're not. Like if I was in a relationship right now and I was feeling the way I'm feeling, I would be out of that relationship ASAP. Literally, I would be out because I know that this is not how I'm supposed to be feeling. So I'm sitting here going, well, what do I need to leave? Is it my apartment? Which I think it is. So I will be contacting my friend today and asking her. Okay. This is my ever unfolding heart deck that I made in memory of my daughter. We have the dolphin. You are a healer. You are here to help the planet. It is crucial for you to be in your joy as often as you can. So all of you on my channel, you are all light workers. Your job is to share your special gifts with the world. A healer could be a waitress. A healer could be a doctor. A healer could be a teacher, a lawyer. You're out there spreading your warmth, your love, and your light wherever you are. This does not mean you have to be in the spiritual community doing spiritual healing. And a dolphin always represents, as we got it before, a blessing is on the way. So we have 2 dolphins now in this reading. A healing blessing is on the way. And I'm hearing that when this partnership comes in for you, it's going to be further healing for you. And I'm terrified because I have not consistently been with somebody in 10 years. So I know when whoever I end up with, I am going to have to acclimate in ways that I don't even know. Maybe I shouldn't even project that. Maybe it's going to be easy and it's going to be effortless. But I haven't lived with somebody, and I live with family, but it might be difficult for you guys if you're like me and we've had like these unique experiences. Too many. But be open, and the right person will allow the healing space for you. They will help you heal. Again, too many. Let's cut the deck. We have 5 more decks, you guys, and then we're done. Okay, I knew we were going to get the Justice card. This is it. Somebody's getting their justice. You're finally going to get everything that you wanted. You know, if that's that business that you're trying to take off, or you're trying to leave a job to pursue something else, or you're leaving a relationship and you want to find that special person, they're coming. It's going to take off. Everything's going to start to unfold when you finally surrender. Because remember, we got this card and I said, I feel like this is the Justice card. And here we are with the Justice. So when you surrender to the universe and allow it to take you to where you're meant to be, whether it's a new state, a new home, a new partnership, a new job. When you allow, that's when everything starts to come in easily and you start to receive with ease. But in the meantime, move your body to feel good. All right, my Micah Magic deck. I'm so glad I picked that name, Micah Magic. It's so cute. I like saying it. It flows very nicely. Okay, I'm going to cut. You are being admired online. And I also just saw 333. Connect back to spirit. Okay, so somebody is stalking your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube, whatever it is. You're being admired online. This could also mean you're just being admired in general. Somebody is now seeing you through a new lens and they're like, how did I not see him or her this whole time? So they're connecting back to spirit, which is their connection to themselves. And they're seeing that when they finally connect back and they start like meditating more and they start really like moving their body and eating better, and they just feel more empowered in their life, and they're like, it's like they're taking their life back, then it becomes more clear who their person is because they're connecting to them and you are them if you're the same soul split into 2 bodies. So the more we connect to spirit, the more we connect to our truth. And then the more we get admired because somebody's now realizing, oh my gosh, I've been abandoning myself and that's been killing my twin because I'm abandoning them. And all I needed to do was surrender and say, okay, this is the love that I've always wanted. I'm going to step forward towards it. I'm not going to be scared of it. And I'm going to choose me, which is me choosing them because we're the same person. So always remember that when you are not choosing yourself, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting your person because they feel it. And that's what I think I've been feeling. And I can't put my finger on it, but it felt like death. Literally just felt like I can't go on another day without something. And I just didn't know what it was. Okay. And that's not to put pressure on your person. Like they're not the source of your joy or your love or your happiness, but it's just this call. When we feel this way, it is the call from God to say, hey, I'm going to need you 2 to be together because you have a mission to do. And I need your love to teach others how to love. And that's what this feeling is. We're not always going to feel this way. It's just when it gets intense and when it's time to come together, you have to follow that nudge. You have to reach out. Okay. Amazing. We're going to take the 2 that were already flipped over. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. We have somebody's been left out the cold, literally, because it's freaking freezing today, but somebody left you out in the cold. They abandoned you, they left you. It's almost like this injured person. You feel like somebody turned their back on you and they just neglected you. But now you're receiving the 10 of Cups. Now they're coming back, or a new person is coming in, and they're going to have this happy life, this house on land, kids, joy, peace, no longer wondering who their person is or wondering where they should be. And they've left that marriage or they left that job, and they're finally feeling like everything makes sense. And that emptiness inside of them that was always causing them to do addictions and to do habits and to abandon themselves and punish themselves and not forgive themselves, it's gone. That's this energy. This is abandonment. This is punishment. This is neglect. They're no longer going to abandon you and themselves. They're choosing themselves, which means they're choosing the partnership. And God is literally telling them through their body, it's time. Okay, last two. We're going to do an animal deck and then my God deck. I'm pretty sure that's all of my decks, except for my sexy porn deck. Maybe I can get that one out. We'll do a little sexy deck at the end. Antelope, life is speeding up. Sure is. Everything's going to start to pick up pace. Once you start taking action, or once they start taking action to you, everything's going to change pretty quickly. All right, my God deck. Yay, I just got excited that it's Christmas Eve. I can't wait to see my nieces and nephews tonight and to do the little scavenger hunt. I got them all the best phone chargers because they all never charge their phones. And my sister's always like, I tried to text you and they didn't respond. And they were like, my phone was dead. So I got them all these little portable chargers. Okay, there is no will but God's. When you have learned how to decide with God, all decisions become as easy and as right as breathing. There is no effort, and you will be led as gently as if you were being carried down a quiet path in summer. This is like the angel card with the tiger, and she's being led by the tiger. God is leading you to your wishes, your wish fulfillment. Okay? So it says, when you have learned how to decide with God, I always say things are difficult without God. If you add without God at the end, it's the truth. I'm never going to get that job without God. I'm never going to find the person of my dreams without God. Yes, you will. You use the universe, you use God. He wants to guide you to what's best for you. I tell people all the time that I want to manifest a farmhouse on land, and I want it to be less than $1,000 to rent. And I look at people's faces and they're like, that's not going to happen. And I'm like, yeah, without God, it's not going to happen, but it'll happen to me because I can create the magic with God. So I've learned to not say it to certain people because I don't want their energy mixed in with what I'm trying to manifest. But if you read books about this stuff, there's so many books of magic of people getting. I was listening to this one book about the secret to manifesting money, and he talks about how he went to this guy's deli and he had like the best sandwich there. So he calls the guy like a day later, and the guy was all defensive, thinking like the customer was going to complain. But he called the owner and was like, I just have to let you know that that was the best sandwich I've had in 15 years. And the owner was like, wow, thank you so much. And the guy who called, he loves marketing and he loves advertising. So he took it upon himself to go on their website. He took all their information and he made a menu that was so beautiful, and he made 1,000 copies of it. And he put it all over the building where he worked and anywhere local to promote this guy's deli. And the guy at the deli ended up calling him and saying, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how much business I have now. Thank you so much for doing that. What made you do that? And he was like, I'm telling you, it was the best sandwich I ever ate. Well, fast forward a year later, he was looking for somewhere to live. The owner had this house that he wasn't living in for a year, and he literally gave him the house. He let him buy it for a really low amount, and he was able to purchase that house. And the guy who got the house, the marketing guy who was promoting the deli, him and his wife ended up getting divorced, but the wife stayed there her entire life until she passed away. So it's funny how things come back to you when you give with your heart, and when you're doing things for other people, you can get magical things happening. You can get free homes. You end up receiving everything that you desire because you do it with God. And he was using that inspired action to just give and to help that guy promote his deli out of the goodness of his heart. And he was rewarded for it. And I know that I take action on all those things throughout my life. Think about the fear course that I'm always promoting. I did not initially do that for any kind of money. I just knew that this was something that people needed. It's kind of like a sandwich that's so good, you want everyone to experience it. And I did my best to promote the crap out of it. And people probably thought I was like crazy for doing it or whatever. And I don't even know what like Ben, the fear guy, thought, if he was like, why is this girl like taking my thing and like doing this for me? It's because it's great and everybody needs it. And then he was sweet and gave me like a 10% discount code, which I really didn't need. But if it helps you get it cheaper, heck yeah, like let's do that. So where are you trying to do things without God? Give from your heart, be a good person, and you'll start to see more of that magic happen to you, because magic does exist. All right, I'm gonna go get see if I can find my deck. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So this is the Sexual Magic Tarot. We're going to end with a sexy card, which I love, on this Merry Christmas Eve. Well, hello. Yes. Heck yes. Ace of Cups. It's the same as that dolphin energy, a new relationship. And it is everything you could have ever wanted. They are just devouring each other like a sundae. So if you look up here, it's like a yummy cup filled with goodness and a little cherry on top. It is just the ultimate sacred union. It's everything you've ever wanted your entire life all in one spot. And it's not your bodies that are so amazing and feel so good. It's the soul. It's the soul merge. It's the love. It's the unconditional love. It's her saying, you can be all of you and I accept you. And him saying, you can be all of you and I accept you. And they both are good people and they're doing good deeds out in the world. And when they're hugging, I'm hearing when they're hugging and kissing, they're both thinking about what a good person the other person is. And they're just like, I am so proud to call you mine. So beautiful. And it's no longer, you're going from this energy, being abandoned, being treated poorly by other people, to this energy, to finally getting your justice. You're getting what you deserve. You're getting that cherry on top. All right, lovies, this was a wonderful reading. I loved doing a card from every single deck. I hope I didn't miss any of them, but I'm sending you so much love. Happy holidays, and I will be back to do an energy reading for this upcoming week. All right, peace out.